Vicky with you, and today we're going to continue the little albums that we started. So one of them is going to be for the giveaway, and the other one is going to be, well, the other two are going to be for sale. And actually I found that I have another one, but I need to do the cover, so I might have actually 3 for sale and 1 to give away. So I've pulled out a bunch of different things. So we're gonna basically decide which papers is gonna go where, and then put them kind of in the book. I won't sew them in right away because we might want to do pockets and stuff, so I will wait until I know more what are the embellishments I'm gonna make. So let's just start off by, actually, let's start off by taking the measurements. So for example, this one, the paper cannot be bigger than, let's say, here. So I'm going to take all of these off, and you'll see like there's a lot of different papers in here that I've put together, because I love having variety in junk journals. I just find that it makes it, well, obviously a lot more interesting. So that's why I do it that way. And so I'm pulling out my big guillotine, and we're gonna cut, if I can remember. It's such a busy paper that I'm not sure where I put my mark now. Oh, there it is. So I'll cut these off. I like having some papers like this because whoever gets the journal, sorry if I've opened up drawers to hold my papers while I'm doing this, but my bin of recycling is super far. So let's bring that closer and open up my drawer again, so I have access to more surface space. Surface space is very valuable in my tiny little area. So you might be hearing some construction noise because, believe it or not, I have another water infiltration. I can't believe it. This time it's in the living room, and we think it might be coming from the fireplace because the fireplace was going when it just before it happened. But my husband went on the roof and he can't find anything, so we really don't know what caused it, which is really not fun. So is this going to be okay? Yes. So that's going to be a fine size. So we'll fold these together. So this is the type of video that I'm hoping you're crafting along, and just wanted to share with you the full process of making the journal that I'm going to be giving away, just because whoever gets it just makes it more interesting, I guess, to know how it was made. And you can see that it takes a while to make a junk journal. It's not well, it depends. If you're like me, it takes a while. Some other people might be doing it really, really fast. For me, it's not the case. Okay, so then these here, they're just a tiny bit long. I don't mind that this is hanging because we'll fold it, and then I can do some stitching to close off those pockets and make it more interesting. So this, like that. These are fine. Then I've got some paper like this, and these are fine as well. They're going to be long, but we'll fold them. I've got some music paper, which is a bit tall, so I'll trim a tad on this side, and I'll trim some on the other side because I don't like having the white margin, like so much of the page. I like having the music more, so I think it makes it more interesting. And these are old, so, well, older, so they're kind of yellowish papers, which I think is really interesting. And then I got a bunch of different, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, including my tiny little journal. And these are also a bit tall, so I'll remove the frayed edge, and then we should be fine. So yeah, you might hear the garage door open and close often because they're, like I said, they're working on preparing the living room. My husband opened it up and is changing the insulation and dried off everything. These I find are so much fun. They're much smaller, which is going to be perfect for the smaller journal. And then I've got some envelopes because envelopes are fun as well in a journal. Then I've got this here, which is stamping book from Canada Post, and I find that this is interesting as well because this is different from if you're not from Canada. So this is fine. We can always trim the pages if we want to, but I prefer leaving them bigger before, like, until I really know what I'm doing. And I just love those stamps. I just think they're so pretty. Okay, so let's be smart about this and remove this. What would be even smarter is if I used a tool or something to open it up. Can't find my stapler remover. Well, this pair of tweezers will have to do. Have to be creative sometimes. If you can't find what you're looking for, I don't want to be spending hours on this. Oh my god, this one just doesn't want to open up. Okay, so got it open. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to be left with a few, and these I'll put aside for my next journals. And then I pulled out a bunch of different, I think these might be Greek. I'm not quite sure. I just found that it was interesting to have different type of paper. So these are going to be okay. And then these are also going to be okay. So 1, 2. These are working books for school. I think it's very interesting as well. See some French. These here are Arabic, so you get to do the English and the. So I thought it would be really fun to have. This is for the smaller journal. And then I've got 1, 2, 3. This also fits. Then I have this, which is actually parchment type of paper. Fits. have this here, which will probably be too tall. Yeah. And this and this, which will probably be too tall as well. I find that it's a lot easier to trim your paper so that you've got it the right height, and then when it comes time for the rest, well, you can decide if you want to fold it or how you want to do it. It really depends on what you're doing, basically. So that I've got Tomo River paper. I should have 4 pieces, and that will be fine. So where's my other one? It's in the pile. Should be in the pile. I've got Rhodia paper. I've got 4 pieces of that. And that too is okay. Yeah. Then I have this here, which is a sketchbook type of paper. And that's also fine. And where's the rest of my Rhodia paper? I know I pulled some. This is so strange. I was sure I had 4 pieces of it. Well, let's finish going through the paper. Maybe it's because it's very thin, the paper, so maybe I'm just missing it. I've got this here, which is Fabriano paper. I really love that stuff as well. It's very smooth. And it comes from a big book, so that's why we need to cut it. Then I have 4 pieces of this paper. Needs to be trimmed a bit. Trim both sides, because otherwise it's going to look strange that there's a border on one side and the other one is not as big. Obviously it's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. It's a junk journal. Then I have this here, which I have 3 big ones, so it goes for the big journal, and that's okay as well. Then I have 4 pieces of this regular graph paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got one too many. So this is also the right size. Then I've got this, which is tiny for the smallest journal. I have, oh, I'm missing one. I have some of these. I'm going to be missing one for that as well. Oops. So I've got 1, 2, 3. This is sketchbook paper. I've got some ledger paper, bigger ledger paper. That should be fine. I've got this type of paper, which is another type of grid paper, and also is fine. I thought I had said I've got 4 this. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, there's the 4th piece. fourth piece there. And then I've got some painty paper. So I've got 3 pieces. I'm going to have to see if I've got one more. I have this, which I want to put into the smallest journal, along with this. And this, do I have actually 4? Yeah, I do. Why did I think I didn't? Okay, so I've got 4 pieces, so that's fine. Then I've got this here, which I thought I could use some, but I'm running out because I've got one here. And then these are individual. Well, that will do 4. So now I'm left with a cover, so that could be fun for something else. So that's good. I don't need this extra thing. Then I have some Midori paper. Really, I'm missing a Tomo River paper, which is strange because I was sure I had enough. So 1, 2. What happened? Oh. 3 and 4. Now my Tomo River paper is right here, so it's not far. So let me just pull out some more. So I'm missing 3. So 1, 2, 3. And I'll probably find it when I put it back, which is always what happens. Now I just noticed I'm missing a card. So got 1 card, 1 for the small journal, and for the other 2, and they fit. I just love these cards. They bring a smile to my face. Then I've got this here, project paper. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're the right size. I've got some of this paper, which is scrapbooking paper. So I've got 4 of these. And I have some smaller ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And well, I'll keep these close by because I might decide to put some more. And then I've got these 2 things that I want to also include, which are little pockets. Okay, something fell. Let me just check what it is before it gets wet. Because I'm in my laundry room, there's a sink, which is amazing, but at the same time, I don't know why, there's always a little bit of water in it. And and the tap seems okay, so I don't know. But so obviously if you leave something in it, depending on what it is, it can ruin it. My husband had at one point dropped some paper, and that was a disaster. I lost a bunch of different papers. So these are Project Life cards, so they're perfect for Project Life cards size, and they're perfect for this. So I'm going to have 1, 2, and 3. And for the smallest journals, I've got these tiny little baby ones from We Are Memory Keepers. I had ordered them thinking they were big, and they're not, but for the small journal I think it would be fun to use, and it allows you to have 2 little places for pictures or something. It would have to be this way. how does this work? Oh, there's one way, the other one the other way. So if I put this at the middle, I won't be able to use them. If I put this like this, then I can use them, but it's going to be a bit of a problem for the top one. Ugh, that sucks. Well, you can always do what I've done. I might do that for this, is to do like put it, open it up here, or the person that gets it actually could do that if they want. Otherwise they could slip it in, depending on how big it is. It might be tight enough to hold it, hopefully. Okay, so we've got all the different elements. Now we need to go and fold and fold some more. So that's the big thing, and it takes a while to do all of this. So like I said, that's the part that's long, and that's also why I try to do multiple at the same time. So because when I'm pulling out my papers and such, I can, you know, pull out many and not have to do this over and over and over again. So then we're going to decide which goes into which and how they're going to be done. It might be very chunky, so I'll have to see if they all fit or not, because it's one signature. I can't really, if you look at this, I can't really put two signatures because it's not gonna fold properly. So there's only so many pages I can put, but I want it interesting, so I prefer pulling out more and then not using them all, then having less and then be looking for some afterwards. Plus, if I have more, like I said, I can use them in other journals, and it's just going to make my life easier. So actually, this being said, I don't think I'm going to need these. I'll put them away so that I don't have them in my face anymore. And for the smallest journal, I probably won't put any painty paper. I don't have to get another one. So my cards are okay. I got my Dollard River paper. This is very thin, so I'll probably have to cut it, because I can't really make pockets with it. It's too thin. But this paper is amazing, amazing, amazing to draw and to use watercolor on. You wouldn't think so because it's so thin, but it's really awesome. Awesome, awesome. Where's my other piece of Dollard River paper? Here it is. Okay, so here. Okay, I've got my 4 pieces here. So 1, 2, and I'm gonna see, depending on what I do, which paper looks the best. So I might put, like I said, when I decide to put some away, at least I'll decide based on the grouping I've got, so which is better than having to try to decide without having the different options. So what have you guys been up to? I hope everything is going well. If you follow my Instagram, you saw that I've had quite a few little issues recently. Somebody mentioned that stuff comes in threes. Well, it did come in three because I had a little fender bender in the month of January. My car was fine. The other car was had a bump in it, but nothing super big. Person cut me off, so I couldn't stop in time, and I ran into him. But like I said, my car didn't have anything. I was a bit bruised. My back was hurting for a few days, but now I'm good. And then my phone got ported out. So I don't know if you know about this scam, but it seems to be like a big scam. So basically it's people call and impersonate you, or call or go online and impersonate you and get your phone to be transferred to another provider, your phone number. So the big problem with that is that not only do you no longer have a phone because your phone doesn't have service anymore because your number is gone from it, but what is also scary is that these days there's a lot of things that need two authentication numbers, like two ways to authentify. So like, let's say I want to make sure that nobody can log with my account somewhere, so I have Google will send me a text so that I know I can put in the number that it sends me, the code, and that justifies that this is an okay item to be using my Google account. Now that's all very good, except when you lose your number, because when you do, then you have to change all those codes. Now I love Amazon so much, but they really suck at this, like suck big time, because I went on and I tried changing my phone number for my work number in the meantime, my work cell phone, and because I was lucky enough, I got it in time. I got a text from Rogers telling me that my phone had been transferred over, my phone number had been transferred over to another company, so I reacted right away, which is great. But so I went online and I started changing all my stuff so that nobody could access my accounts, changing my cell phone number so that they couldn't, because what happens too is if you lose your password, if you've got the email address, you can enter that, and then you can say, well, send me the code so that I can change my password. Send me the code to my phone. Well, if they do that, then obviously they gain access to whatever they want to get access to. Now, Amazon, when you want to change your phone number, says that it wants to send an email or a text to your phone, which clearly is not going to help, because it's going to tell whoever has my phone number that this is how you can get into my Amazon. So I had to call them. First of all, finding a number to call for them is like super hard, because they try to answer all your questions via online or through an email, but obviously time was of the essence, so I didn't want to send an email and wait forever to get a response. So I wanted to talk to an actual human being, which most people don't do it, I guess, anymore. So then I finally got the phone number, and I decided to call and speak in French. Well, it's all very good, but in French they cannot do the security thing. So I had to call again and talk to an English person who sent me an email to reset my password, which is all good, but doesn't solve my phone, And then she says, well, you just have to go online and change your phone. I said, well, yeah, that's what I would have done, except that you guys have that you're going to be sending a text, SMS, and you're going to be sending it to the phone that is compromised. So how is that going to help me? So thank God I had another cell phone, because if I didn't, I would have been in trouble, because she had to send a text to an SMS to another phone, and I needed to be able to give her the code in order. Anyway, it was complicated, so complicated. And I had gotten Rogers to, I had logged in a case for Rogers, but then as I was reading on the situation and how, what happens, like how it gets ported out and stuff, I read that you could actually put a PIN on your account. This means that if you want to get it ported out, you're going to have to give the PIN number. And you also have to show identity. So, like, you cannot just do it by phone or do it by email. You need to actually go in person to a store and get it done. So, when I discovered this, I decided to do that, because my other cell phone has my landline and my house number, and I didn't want to lose that one, because obviously then I would have no phone. So, and I wasn't home to be able to manage that one in case something happened to it. So I wouldn't know fast enough. So then I communicated with the Rogers again via online, and I actually got another lady, but this one was really, really good, and she actually was able to recoup my phone number. So I was able to get my phone number back within 2 to 4 hours, and I also got, and she also, you know, opened up a case for me and the whole thing, which I didn't really get, because I didn't understand why, if the other guy had opened up a case already, I needed to do this again. But she explained to me that she had done it a different way, and it was going to be a better way and a faster way. So, and I believe she was probably right, because I was able to get my phone number back, which it seems to, when I was checking online, seems to be very difficult in some cases to get your number back. And I've had my number for many years, like over 10 years. So I didn't want to change number. Everybody knows that number, like the doctors and everybody else. So it would really not be good to have to change that number. So I was super happy that she was able to take care of that. But then I needed to go to a Rogers store, because otherwise my SIM card couldn't get my number back on it. So they had to give me another SIM card and to activate it with my number. But obviously with the new PIN, I needed to give the PIN and to present some ID at the same time. But oh my god, what an ordeal. And in the meantime, I had also canceled all my credit cards just in case they could gain access to one of my accounts or something, and then have access to my banking, to my credit cards, which would have been terrible. And obviously, like, it was taking time to take care of Amazon and whatever, so by canceling my credit cards, I made sure that even if somebody was going to purchase stuff, they wouldn't be able to, you know, put it directly on my card. But and I don't understand why. I posted a post on my Facebook page, and I posted as well on my regular Facebook, and a lot of people didn't know about it, like I didn't know before. And a lady on the Facebook page mentioned that, you know, she's got a really high-end phone that, you know, is not hackable. Well, this is not a question of being hacked. It wasn't. I wasn't hacked. It was actually somebody impersonating me and getting the phone to be transferred to another provider. There's nothing that I could do to prevent that unless I put a PIN on my account, which I didn't know they did. And it seems that there's 3 companies in Canada that do it. So if you don't have a PIN on your account, I suggest that you call your phone company, or you go online and chat with them and ask them to set it up for you, because that's the safest way. One of the articles that I read while I was researching this out was mentioning that there's somebody that actually lost $100,000 through this, because they actually emptied out their bank account, which is scary. So yeah, I was really happy that I was able to not have that happen to me. But I was also, I checked, like, my bank is not linked to my account, so I was okay. Like, it wasn't a question of my banking. They couldn't have accessed my banking online. Like I said, it's not linked, so even if they had wanted to, they wouldn't have been able to, which is a good thing. But it's still really scary that these things could happen. Like, really scary. So now I'm just, like, splitting up whatever ephemera I've got folded, and then we'll decide which one goes where. And I'll actually decide one on camera. We don't need to do this for all of them. This I can do off camera, but I wanted to show you all the steps so you'll know the full step of this. And this is going to be for my small one. So yeah, I don't know if something similar to that has ever happened to you. I've been victim to identity thief more than once, unfortunately. And this is because somebody came into my house, broke into my house a few years ago, and they stole our passport. And then they were able to, with all my identity and the fact that I've got a good credit score, they were able to open up a credit card on my name. And I suppose that because it was winter time, they came to my mailbox and actually got the mail. The credit card came in and they got it before I saw it. So obviously I would have questioned why I'm getting a credit card that I didn't ask. And they actually purchased a car, so $15,000. And I got the statement, and it was right after the holidays. And I got the statement, and I didn't understand because I didn't open up a credit card. Originally, I thought, it was one of those mail where they're asking you if you're interested in opening up a new credit card, and obviously I wasn't. But then it wasn't that at all. It was actually a purchase. Somebody had made a purchase of a car on a credit card that they opened in my name. So I was now responsible for their purchase. I can only, it was insane. It was insane. I called the bank that had done that, and I explained the situation, that I didn't open up that account. And they said, well, you did. And I said, no, I didn't. And do you have a proof of my signature showing that I did? Because I clearly did not. So you cannot prove that it was me because I didn't do it. And so then they actually looked on file, and they saw that no, I had not opened it up, and that it was actually opened up online because I had such a good credit card. I'm getting punished for, you know, paying my bills on time. So I had to go to the bank in person, bring my passport, my new passport, bring all kinds of identity pieces to show that it really was me and that I really didn't open up that account and that card and got it canceled. But then I also needed to go on all the credit agencies and get them to put a note on my file so that this would never happen again. So yeah, that was not fun. Not fun at all. It's quite an ordeal. It's really stressful, and I don't wish it on my worst enemy. Which I'm lucky I don't have enemies, but if I did, I wouldn't wish them this, because it really was really frightening and just, yeah, not good. And same thing with my phone. It was really frightening and very stressful, and I was at work and it took me a few hours to get through everything, and it was just a disaster. Okay, so now we've got our little pile, so we need to decide how we're gonna set it up. So let's say I decide to do this like that. I really want the Tomo River paper because I find that it's so pretty and it's kind of transparent, so that's fun. And then I could put a shorter page because I don't want them all big. And then I guess I could put a colored page. I want to use the, let's do a page like this. And then maybe this here. It's a junk journal, so it makes it more interesting. I can put this here. No, I don't like, well, actually, yes. And my Rhodia paper. And I want to put this one. And I absolutely want one of these to be in there. So put that there. I need to make sure that I put it right side. I want some more color. I'll do that. Maybe this. So already we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14. So if you double up, because it's 14 this way, 14 that way, and the back. So it's 28 plus 28, so 56. 56 pages. So let me pause the camera for 2 seconds because one of my sons wants to speak to me. Okay, so my son was hungry, wondering what we were gonna eat. Got to love those kids. And since I prepared my food ahead of time, he thought maybe it was what was in the crock pot, and wondering, because it smells good in the house, he was wondering if it was that. Okay, so now I'm really running, like this is going to be pretty thick already. Because don't forget, whoever gets this is going to want to add stuff to it, so I don't want to make it too thick. Because I'm going to be putting ephemera as well in it for the person to use. So could put this in the middle here. or not in the middle here, or I want to put it right here. So I like that. There's so many things I want to use. I can't use it all. Okay, so this I could put in the middle, because this way whoever gets this could actually color it in. So that would be good. And do I put anything else? I'd like to use these two at least. So I guess I'm not gonna use these. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pieces are not gonna be used. But it's gonna make my next album a lot easier, and I'm gonna try to make them so that it's not all the same paper that I use in them. So this way it's going to make it more interesting for whoever gets this to have, if somebody wants to purchase a journal, well, they can purchase one. They can purchase more and not have always the same type of stuff inside them. So this, and then that here, and then I don't want to put the two pages, the written pages together. I kind of want to spread them. So maybe this here. Okay, so put that over here, and that will be that. And there's our album. So this would be the pages. So now it's going to be a question of deciding if I want to make pockets, if I want to fold the paper more, how I want to do this, and I'm going to decide that and show you guys, and then I can sew the signature in and then start making ephemera and, you know, adding little embellishments and little tabs and all that sort of nice stuff. Might be fun to add a bit of lace and all kinds of stuff like that. So yeah, you can see here that for sure some of these have to be folded. So it's going to be a question of, I'll probably do this off camera, and then I can show you, and I'll probably stitch them ahead of time. So this way that part is going to be done, and then we can just decide what we want to add, if we want to add pockets and stuff, and then also those, and then do probably the little paper clips and stuff. And yeah, so a few episodes more to come. I hope you enjoy this. If you do enjoy my videos, I would love you guys to subscribe. It's always nice to see that there's new subscribers and that the family is growing. And don't forget to leave comments. I love reading your comments. So that's it. Bye, everyone.